Dougie, obviously it's been quite some time since we've had the opportunity to talk to you. First of all, can you take us through what happened on that play that led to your major injury?
Yeah, I mean, kind of just fell awkwardly on my arm. I mean, I don't know if it was awkward or not, but just felt something and knew something was wrong. And unfortunately, it was as bad as it was. So definitely a tough thing to happen.
And just how tough has this year been, spending most of the time rehabbing, playing only 20 games, that mental side of it? What has this been like for you?
Yeah, I think very tough, physically, mentally, everything. So it's hard not being out there with the guys, win and lose and going through it with them. So definitely makes you realize some things and can't take things for granted and makes you appreciate stuff. So learn from it and have a new, I guess not new, but more of a realization and appreciation of everything that we have. And for me just now, I think just trying to get healthy and be the best player I can be come September, October.
You've been on the ice a little bit. Where are you in terms of, being able to get back if you guys were still playing? Where are you in your recovery process?
Yeah, I think, like you said, I've been skating and stuff, so the plan was kind of to target playoffs, and unfortunately, we don't really have that chance. So, yeah. So it's.
So you were close, is what you're.
Yeah.
Do you feel well enough if the team did make it that you could jump in and play now?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because we're not there. So, like I said, I've been skating, and once we kind of realized there was no chance, things changed. So, with rehab and whatnot, so it would have been different the last couple of weeks, I guess, had we been in it. So.
How tough is it for you to have to watch from the sidelines as they didn't exactly replicate last year's success?
Yeah, I mean, definitely hard. I think a hard year for everyone. Definitely hard for me, just feeling like I could help and not being able to. So definitely not easy. Not being able to be there for your team, and like I said, going through it with them, and tough season for us. So, like I said, everyone will be working hard to get better for next year, and we kind of had that feeling last year compared to this year, and it's a lot of motivation to be able to try to replicate what we had compared to what we had this year.
Dougie, you weren't playing when Lindy was relieved and then Travis came in. What was just your reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard for me. I was kind of disconnected at that point, so I don't really have much to say, honestly. Just not really being in the meetings and stuff, practices and whatnot, and I can tell you a lot about the weight room and what goes on in there. But yeah, so I don't really have much to say about it.
What kind of coach do you look for when looking at this team, and what do you think that the qualities that person needs to make this team get back to the playoffs next year?
Yeah, I mean, that's not my job. I'm here to play, and somebody else will figure that out, and I'll do my best to be a good teammate and player.
When you were injured, Shimon was the player that came up. Just your thoughts on his presence, what he brought to the team, and Luke as well, two rookies that kind of had to go in running pretty much.
Yeah, I think they did great. So obviously a bright future for them and for our team, and kind of look back to when I was that age and stuff. So it's obviously a great experience for them to be able to play so much at a young age, and it's only going to help them.
I think with the full summer, it's going to be a long time, obviously, until you get back on the ice. How much are you anticipating getting back out there and the fan support for your return?
Yeah, I didn't think about it too much about that. I think just it was definitely hard skating, and obviously you want that feeling. And like you said, it's kind of getting so close, and hoping to be back this season, and not being able to. I think it's, like you said, now hard to kind of gotta wait 5 more months or whatever. So I'll definitely be very, very excited come October.
Doug, even in the first 20 games, the team wasn't connecting and firing on all cylinders when you were here. What was happening? Because at that moment, it was like, okay, what's this year going to be like? So just wondering what it was like and what you viewed was happening or not.
Yeah, it's feels like a long time ago now, but I don't think we ever had our full lineup, which maybe we had one game, or I'm not sure, but I do remember when Nico came back how much our team changed, and unfortunately I think I was played I don't know how many games with him, so when he came back, and so definitely hard with injuries and whatnot, but it's not an excuse as well, so yeah.
What was the recipe for such an effective power play that you guys exhibited those first 20 games? I think it was over 30% from what I remember. Why was it doing so well at that time? And obviously you played a big part in that, but overall, why do you think it was doing so well?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm not sure. Clock's going in that, and 30% of the time, and that's what happens.
Got it. I don't want to put words in your mouth, so yeah, we'll stick with that.
When you initially suffered your injury, did you know immediately that it was going to be a longer-term thing?
I knew something was wrong. I didn't really know what. Kind of never felt that before, so I knew it wasn't great. And yeah, then I guess when you look up, timelines of what the injury was and stuff, it's kind of hits you hard. But always hoping that you would be ahead of schedule and whatnot. But yeah, here we are. So it is what it is. I think for me, I was just trying to take one day at a time and do my best and work as hard as I can. And yeah.
Kurtis, I imagine, been a bit of a whirlwind for you getting traded and then, coming to this team, having, big impact in the locker room and obviously on the ice too. Just what has this been like for you?
It's been a great experience right from day one when I got here. Team was awesome. Staff and everyone just made me feel so welcome right when I got here. So enjoyed my time here.
You obviously, were on an Avalanche team that won the Stanley Cup. I mean, do you see some early roots, I guess, of that in this team? Are there any similarities at all?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a great team here, great young core. So obviously there's some good pieces, and just got to put it together. And there's a bright future for this organization for sure.
And Thomas talked about, recently that is trying to get you re-signed. Is there been any early discussions about that, your agent?
I believe there are. So let's leave it at that.
What would intrigue you about wanting to come back and be what you learned about this group that you feel comfortable in?
I mean, just being able to help them out and bring what I bring for the team, and I can tell, it makes a difference for them, and being able to grow with the team and improve. So that's something that I really enjoyed here.
Kurtis, obviously you stepped right into the heat of the rivalry between the Rangers and the Devils here. Have you been part of anything like that, and what was it, obviously like for you in hindsight?
Yeah, it's something different, obviously, in the East. Over the years in the West, there's been a couple teams that battled with, but this is something new and different, but it was definitely entertaining.
Kurtis, how comfortable were you playing in a role where you weren't in the lineup every night?
That's kind of been my role the past few years anyways, so it's nothing new.
What's the training regimen like for you in the off season?
Just go back and take some time off and spend some time with my family and friends, and then just get back into it.
Kevin, just 1 year into your new contract, I mean, how do you feel about where your game was this year, and I guess what you can improve this summer?
I think the biggest takeaway for me is just learning a lot. I mean, I felt like I was in a spot where I didn't expect to be, and then just on the move, just kind of learning as much as I can, soaking it in, from the D partner, from the D coach, and trying to execute that stuff on the ice. So. A couple improvements. I think I need to work on my shot this summer big time, and foot speed, and there's a couple little things like that, but nothing crazy. Just continuously get better.
How much does the result of this season, obviously being here earlier than last, does that motivate you and the rest of your teammates entering next season?
Yeah, extremely motivating. It's a weird feeling, especially where guys in this group and me, where you think you're going to be at the end of the season, just being here, not playing hockey is a weird feeling for the expectation for sure.
Kevin, how much changed for this group when Dougie went down? And I mean, when on ice, was it more difficult to do things that you wanted to do without him being there?
Not necessarily. I mean, he's a big piece. Obviously, he's one of the best defensemen in the NHL. So, missing a top two guy in your D-core is painful. But it wasn't the only injury too. There was a couple more. If it wasn't him, it was like Siegenthaler missed 30, 40 around there. Up front, Hughes missed games. There's guys playing through injuries you don't even know, right? Like guys playing through double MCL tears, and guys don't, what I mean? If you're outside the locker room, you don't even know that. So it's painful to just know you're missing guys like that. But at the end of the day, it's just another kick in the butt where you got to go to the off season and just really prepare for this next one.
Kevin, what do you mean you have played all 82 games this year?
It's extremely grueling. I mean, you go from junior to A, and you're like, oh my goodness, this is this many more games. And then you go to the NHL, and you're like, this is ridiculous. But it's all about just like taking care of your body, and when you get a rest day, you're preparing yourself for that next week. So it's grueling, but it's also very rewarding because you're always in the locker room, you're always in the mix with the guys that are playing. So it's again, it's rewarding because you're just always in that group. You're always with the group, and it's just a culture thing. It's hard to explain, honestly. It's just, yeah.
Kevin, you quickly became one of the more veteran guys with all the injuries and guys who left last summer. What was the most challenging part of that?
I think the experience for me personally against top guys and just trying to learn as quick as possible right away. It's a different game when you're playing against guys with that kind of skill or that caliber of player. But yeah, just learning and little details in your game, stick positioning, body positioning. Everything just becomes that much more important because, especially on D, you make one little tiny mistake. Your stick wasn't in the right spot. Your body should have been this way. It could be a scoring chance, right? So, yeah.
What does off-season training look like for you?
Just pretty much start right away.
Where will you be?
I'll be here for a bit, and then I'll be going home and skating with some guys there for a bit.
What did you expect this year? You said you were in a spot, if I understood you correctly, where you didn't expect to find yourself. What were your expectations coming in?
For what exactly?
Well, in terms of playing or your position, the amount of time you played, like off of last year, what kind of role did you think you would play this year?
For me personally, my goal coming into the season was I thought I was going to be a guy that's like probably third pairing, and then I want to battle to get as much ice time and playing time and get up to D pairings. And then thought I had a really good camp. Started off and more in a top 4 role, and then from there I was just like learning and experience. Then Dougie goes down, and then everything becomes absolutely more crucial. But from that perspective, like exactly what I said, like you're going from that pairing to jump up playing against top guys, and then now you're missing other top guys. It's tough. Yeah.
Thanks, Bahl.